And the third angel sounded. A great star fell from heaven, burning like a lamp. It struck the waters and made them bitter. Its name was Wormwood, and many died. This is just the beginning.
A great star called Wormwood is falling. Not folklore, not sci-fi. Prophecy, real, deadly, already in motion. Revelation 8 doesn't whisper it. It declares it with terrifying clarity. A great star, burning like a torch, fell from heaven, and its name was Wormwood. It poisons 1/3 of the Earth's waters. Many die, the world is shaken. But here's the twist, almost no one's talking about. What if Wormwood has already begun? What if we're not waiting for a cosmic impact, but already drowning in judgment we refuse to recognize? Because the rivers are dying, the skies are warning, and the church, mostly silent. In this episode, we'll expose what Wormwood really means, how it's unfolding right now, and why modern disasters may not be accidents, but wake-up calls from heaven. If you're ready to go deeper than feel-good faith, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, do this for the algorithm. Like this video. Share it with someone asleep. They might thank you later, or they might ignore it. Either way, the trumpet is sounding. Now let's begin. Wormwood's bitter legacy. Revelation 8:10-11 reads, "And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter." Wormwood isn't a poetic device, it's a warning, a real divine judgment delivered with precision and fire. The term wormwood appears throughout the Bible, symbolizing sorrow, bitter regret, and the consequences of rebellion against God. Deuteronomy 29:18 warns of a root bearing gall and wormwood, bitterness birthed from idolatry. Jeremiah 9:15 declares God's justice, "I will feed them with wormwood and give them water of gall to drink." In Hebrew, the word is la'ana, a plant so bitter it was used to represent despair, judgment, and divine disgust. When God's patience runs dry, wormwood is poured out. In Revelation, the judgment isn't metaphorical, it's cosmic. A burning object from the heavens crashes into Earth's water systems, corrupting 1/3 of them. People die, not by violence, but by thirst. This isn't just the fallout of sin, it's the manifestation of it. Wormwood is the bitter fruit of a planet that has forgotten its maker. Poisoned waters, then and now. Water, God's symbol of life, renewal, and cleansing, becomes the vehicle of death. In Exodus, the Nile turned to blood, the life source of Egypt becoming its curse. In 2 Kings 2, Elisha healed a spring that had been causing death and miscarriage. And now, Revelation tells us 1/3 of Earth's fresh water will be tainted. But let's ask the question no one dares to voice in church. Is that already happening? In Flint, Michigan, over 100,000 people unknowingly drank water laced with lead. The effects? Neurological damage, organ failure, lifelong trauma. In the Ohio River Basin, the waters have been marinated in industrial chemicals, some dating back to the 1950s. More than 5 million people now live with invisible toxins in their tap. In the Mississippi Delta, pesticides and fertilizers from corporate farms seep into the groundwater, increasing cancer rates and birth defects. And now, even the skies themselves are under scrutiny. Chemtrails, once dismissed as conspiracy, are drawing congressional attention. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is pushing to ban atmospheric geoengineering altogether. Why? Because whatever is being sprayed up there isn't just vanishing into the clouds, It's settling into our soil, contaminating our water, and disrupting weather patterns with terrifying consequences. Aluminum, barium, and strontium, found in rainfall, on crops, and now in human bloodstreams. Could this be another layer of the Wormwood judgment, bitter fallout from mankind's arrogant attempt to play God with the heavens? And it's not just America. In rural India, water is stained with arsenic. In Africa, children drink from disease-infested streams. In South America, illegal mining has turned rivers into mercury-soaked death traps. Half the world suffers from waterborne illness. 1 in 3 lack access to safe water. These aren't isolated disasters, they're prophetic mile markers. We've polluted the blessing, now we drink the curse. Cosmic judgment, God's pattern repeated. God doesn't just judge from the ground, He judges from the sky. Sodom and Gomorrah were vaporized by fire raining from above. The plagues of Egypt featured unnatural darkness and hail that burned. Isaiah 2, Joel 2, and Revelation are all saturated with cosmic catastrophe. Stars falling, suns darkening, moons bleeding. Joel 2:30-31 warns, "I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord come." These aren't metaphors, they're forewarnings. The Bible shows us repeatedly, God communicates in spectacle. He sends plagues, shakes the heavens, and lights the sky on fire. He does not tiptoe, He thunders. And Wormwood, it's the next thunderclap. This star isn't decorative, it's destructive. A divine missile aimed at our corrupted systems. But remember, it only poisons 1/3. This isn't extermination, it's interruption, a final red alert, before wrath becomes total. Modern shockwaves. The bitterness is spreading. Let's look around. East Palestine, Ohio. A catastrophic train derailment spills vinyl chloride into soil and rivers. The skies fill with black chemical plumes. Animals die by the dozens. Residents fall ill. The response? Silence, suppression, dismissal. Jackson, Mississippi. The city's water system collapses after years of neglect. For weeks, over 150,000 people have no reliable water. Undrinkable. Showers? No. Cooking? No. Unsafe. Shidor. Maui, Hawaii. In the aftermath of devastating fires, survivors are told their water is fine. Then reports emerge of benzene, arsenic, and other carcinogens coursing through the pipes. Death count, 102. And then there was Hurricane Helene, the most catastrophic Atlantic storm in recorded history. Not just wind and rain, but a monstrous, seething spiral of destruction that leveled cities, swallowed coastlines, and turned freshwater lakes into toxic cesspools. Bodies floated in streets, rivers reversed, and when it was over, Helene left more than death. She left bitterness, the kind that poisons not just the water, but the soul of a nation too arrogant to repent. Death count, 250. And now, the eyes of the nation turn to the Texas Hill Country, where what began as a freak weather event became a full-blown, gut-wrenching tragedy. Flash floods ripped through towns. Children were swept from cars. Families lost everything in minutes. Death count, 92 and rising. As the waters receded, they left behind more than mud and debris. They left heartbreak, unanswered questions, and the bitter taste of loss. It's as if the land itself is groaning, warning, and weeping all at once. This isn't a sci-fi movie. It's not hypothetical. This is our timeline. And here's what few dare admit. These events echo biblical prophecy, not just in content, but in tone. These aren't slow declines, they're violent ruptures. The sky seems angry, the water tastes cursed. The systems we built without God are collapsing like a tower of lies. And what is coming next? The bitterness of apostasy. Before the waters turn bitter, the hearts did. Long before God poisons rivers, he confronts polluted doctrine. Spiritual apostasy always comes before environmental judgment. Just as Israel worshipped Baal before drought fell in Elijah's day, the modern church has flirted with idols, comfort, fame, tolerance without truth. Look around. Pulpits have traded prophecy for psychology. Conviction has been replaced by self-help. Warnings have been silenced in favor of weekly pep talks. Some mega-church pastors have specialized in prosperity and so-called prosperity gospel messages. Many pastors avoid the book of Revelation like it's toxic. Not because they don't believe it, but because they don't want to lose members. But Jesus never begged for crowds. He warned them. He divided them. He spoke of fire, judgment, tribulation, and truth. He called men to repent, not just feel better. Wormwood doesn't just poison physical water, it symbolizes a poisoned gospel, a diluted truth, a faith system gone rotten. Revelation 8 doesn't emerge from nowhere. It follows Revelation 2 and 3, letters to 7 churches, warnings to the lukewarm, the compromised, the corrupt. And still today, God is speaking to the church. He isn't saying, clean your wells, return to the word, preach the whole gospel, even the bitter parts. Because when the gospel loses its bitterness, its confrontation with sin, it loses its power to save. Wormwood is more than a celestial object. It is a spiritual test, a filter, a judgment upon everything fake, soft, or hollow that dares to call itself faith. Let the modern church take heed. Before the rivers were poisoned, the pulpits were. Stars, signs, and the ignorance of modern man. In Luke 21:11, Jesus warns of great earthquakes, famines, pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs from heaven. Not just earthquakes, not just war, signs from above. NASA currently monitors over 30,000 near-Earth objects. These are asteroids and comets, each capable of leveling a city or wiping out life regionally. Many of them were discovered in the last 10 years. Governments are investing billions into planetary defense systems, not because they love sci-fi, but because they've read the data. Some even admit the risk of planet-killer impacts is rising. Why now? Because the heavens are speaking, and even the secular elite can hear the whisper. But the church? Many pastors won't touch Revelation. They don't want to sound doom and gloom. They don't want to scare people. They don't want to lose their audience. But they're already losing their mission. The trumpet is being blown, not on CNN, but in the heavens, and only the spiritually deaf miss it. Wormwood, a star of judgment, a call to return. Wormwood is not just judgment, it's mercy in disguise. God poisons 1/3 to wake the other 2/3. He shakes the earth to stir the heart. He burns the sky to light the way back to him. And still, people refuse to see. The polluted water is not just an environmental collapse, it's a spiritual warning. The dying rivers, they symbolize the death of our spiritual vitality. The comets streaking through the sky, they're not fireworks, they're flares. God is calling. But are we listening? Revelation doesn't end with destruction. It ends with redemption. But only for those who repent, only for those who open their eyes before the star falls. The shadow of Wormwood is here. Wormwood isn't coming, it's here. It's here in our poisoned rivers, in our darkened skies, in our hollow churches. in our hardened hearts. The warning signs are no longer vague. They are visible, tangible, undeniable. If you've been numb to prophecy, numb to conviction, snap out of it. If you've shrugged off Revelation as symbolic, read it again. If you've believed that modern life is too advanced for divine judgment, look around. We're watching it unfold in real time. But there is hope. Jesus Christ is not just our escape from judgment, He is our victory over it. The world is being shaken so that only what is unshakable will remain. Choose Him now, before the next trumpet sounds. Call to action. If this episode opened your eyes, do not scroll past. Share it. Comment, "I'm awake now." Subscribe for episode 3, because the warnings are far from over. Wormwood is real, judgment is falling, but so is grace. Will you be ready when the star falls? Cheers.